He's not too sure of getting in there, is he?
Oh,
It's not that big.
bit close though.
Should put a roundabout on here.
You should
Yeah, I
do
know.
some, First time I've ever seen anybody coming in or out of that
No?
cottage in there.
Especially in the Lexus.
Was it raining when you left home as well?
Drizzly. It's been like this since you've been away.
Yeah, I've been looking at the forecast.
The odd day here and there, but the majority of it's like this.
And it's, just missed all the floods, eh?
Yeah.
Bad weather.
You just feel tired all day because it's dark all day and you're just not getting any sun. We had storms on Friday. It's alright for me though because I got to run to Scotland when the trains are off. I make good money.
Yeah, yeah. Time that fast came to an end, isn't
Eh?
it? Time that the rail strikes came to an end.
Oh no, well this was with the storms had blown the power lines down.
Yeah. Mind you, we're lucky, Carlisle, lucky again at the bad storms because the northeast copped it bad, didn't it?
Yeah.
The top of the lighthouse got knocked off North Shields.
That's right, yeah. Carlisle seems to be sheltered from wind.
It's got its own microclimate.
It has. It's not sheltered from the rain, but it's sheltered from wind.
Yes. Well, part of the Gulf Stream comes up the Solway.
Yeah.
I once finished up down there. One time, Stu.
Did you?
I missed the bloody turn. I thought, what the hell am I doing here?
What, on here?
Yeah, there,
But do you know what's bad about it, right? When you come up there's no signposts.
No.
I don't know if you've noticed that, but when you come up to that second roundabout, there isn't anything telling you what's going where and when until you're on top of it, which is useless.
Yes, we have this in the autumn colours.
Oh, yes.
It's a nice road when the autumn's here.
Can't be a little leaf blowing in the garden.
I mean, I'll be any left to have.
Maybe not.
It's about time we had VAR on the championship. Like, I mean, it's cost us 3 games, Sunderland.
Well, but even then, the VAR get it wrong.
It shouldn't do, should it?
Shouldn't. Who cares? It's fine watching on the televisions.
In the Stoke City game, when they scored, it hit the Stokes player's arm and rolled down his arm onto the floor, and he hit it and scored. And then we got a blatant penalty against Leicester City.
It's
Extra
very,
one.
very topical, the VAR judgment.
I just don't think it's fair the Premier League has it and the other leagues don't.
Well, just let them set the rules for all.
Of course it should.
But part of it. I'll tell you where I noticed as well. In the rugby union, they've got more better rules and discipline than football.
Miles better.
Hands behind your back. You speak to the referee.
They don't argue with the ref, do they?
They can't. If they do, they get a yellow card. What's the captain? I'll talk to the captain. Calls the captain of it and tells him what he wants. And then they've got to stand there and don't speak until it's spoken to.
Did you watch England New Zealand?
Yes.
They got the backsides kicked second half. England, like, they just couldn't get the ball off New Zealand. They were just pressing all second half.
You should have beat South Africa.
Sorry, I mean South Africa. I mean,
Aye.
they should have done, but it was all South Africa the second half. They just couldn't get going in England.
I see there's an inquiry anyway about one of the black South Africans called one of the Englishmen a white. So that's I think they've got sound pickup on it as well.
Then there's England cricketers crashing out the World Cup.
I know. Wasn't pleased about that either.
They'll be watching the cricket.
Afghanistan, wasn't it?
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka. We got beaten off.
Got beat off Afghanistan, yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, bring it down to earth.
It doesn't all. Well, it's Friday.
Yes.
That's all that matters.
Well, when you get to our age, a week consists of about 3 days. You look around again, well, it's Friday again.
I like my weekends off.
Hey, do you know the answer to this one, Stu? You know, at the Carlisle courts, outside the station, they're going to make that where you can't go through between the two citadels, can they?
No, they're going to make it into one lane.
One lane.
One lane.
Is that now?
One lane.
They're gonna widen the paths
Yeah.
and make a lane in the middle.
Because to get over the viaduct, that's a Devonshire Street, and it's a one way going the other way.
So
Well-
you can, so you can still go over to Dead Gnome from going
Over the
past,
viaduct. So you come up Butcher Gate,
yeah,
you want to go to the viaduct, over the viaduct.
Street
You've
Road.
got to get one. It's that now,
Well, we've already had a meeting with the council to look at the plans and stuff, and we've mentioned to them and saying, well, it's all right doing this, but I hope you're going to manage the traffic. I says because it doesn't work as it is now, and never mind reducing it to one lane.
I think it's badly thought out.
I says it's all right doing all these plans, I says, but I hope you're thinking about what the traffic's doing.
Well, I might say, what's the point in how many cars are going to be parked in the car park behind where the Matalan is?
Oh no.
Eh?
If you look now where BM's used to be, or Woolworths,
Yeah.
it's like ground zero in a war zone, because they've now around the corner, they've now boarded Tesco's up in this metal sheeting, and it just looks awful.
Yeah.
Any tourist coming off the train station and walking up there, they'll walk back and get back on the train.
I think it's badly thought out.
I know it's only temporary because they're in transition of getting all the university and all that built, but at the minute it looks
Yeah.
awful.
Allegedly, they're going to get all the doctors. Going to be a major university for doctors, isn't it? Well, it's supposed to be. Doctors got training now.
They are, yeah.
It's interesting.
I wonder if Carlisle's going to get took over.
Well, the latex, the Americans.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was really complicated. There's one or two details to sort out, but
Well, he was there at the Burton game. He's meeting the fans and everything.
yeah. It's going to be imminent. It's what they need, though.
Well, I mean, he'll have witnessed that Carlisle took 4,500 down at
Yes.
Bolton, and he'll know that this club's potentially massive.
Well, it is. Well, it's only 1 in 60 miles, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or more.
Any club that takes 4,500 away from home in Division 1, and that owner must be looking and saying, well, if this club's got an investment,
The potential's unbelievable.
yeah.
If they've got the money to go with it. And they seem to have.
I mean, if they get into the Championship, they'll have to redo the ground, but potentially they could be getting 20,000 every home game.
Oh yes, easy. I can remember we used to get that. End of the first division.
Yeah. My first ever game for Sunderland was Sunderland against Carlisle at Roker Park, and it was 2-2.
You won't forget that one.
Nice colours, aren't there?
Month's time there won't be a bloody leaf left on.
No. Reckon the Easter eggs are already in the shops.
Oh, you kidding? Easter eggs. Haven't got past Halloween yet.
The Christmas things were in before we went away.
How's Lindsay doing?
Working hard. I mean, so the shift she works 12 hours. Mainly nights. So her sleep patterns are all to hell. Apart from that, that's what she wants. She looks after her lad that can't do anything.
Aye.
That's the permanent one. If there's to go in the hospital, they have to go look after him there as well.
That's what the wife will say about me. I didn't dig out.
Is it school holidays this week?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's great because you haven't got that rushing about in the morning.
How many you got to get ready to?
Eh?
How many have you got to get ready?
Yeah, I know. Road's very quiet this morning.
This is the part that bugs me. When we get to Hexham, we run out of dual carriage.
Can you imagine how much quicker it would be if it was just right the way through to Carlisle?
Unreal. I'd sort of spend the money to put the road in and put it low costs on the station.
It's long overdue, isn't it?
Yes. Especially when we spend a bloody fortune on an unnecessary roundabout in.
Yeah, I know that.
Excellent.
The money they spent on that, they probably could have done another 20 miles dual carriageway.
Yeah, probably. This north-south divide, and they say, will it happen?
Well, there's more traffic getting on the road every year. Eh?
We're going to do the 66.
I know. Well, lucky we're getting the southern bypass.
Huh? Oh, that's already going through now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's working on that now.
Because they're not going to do a fast train to Manchester,
Oh, yeah.
he reckons he's going to share the money out with the northern joining the northern towns together in these cities. We'll see if Newcastle Carlisle gets any upgrades.
That doesn't matter about what Sunak does because he won't be in power next year.
But ironically, you've got how many live in Hexham? 20,000?
About that?
Hexham?
Yeah.
20,000?
About that, yeah, I would say.
Where's the nearest big place? Newcastle and Carlisle.
Yeah.
Carlisle's got the budget 10,120,000.
It has, yeah.
You're in the middle of nowhere.
Well, we haven't got any support in big towns or cities.
Yeah. The nearest Lancaster and Newcastle.
Yeah.
say they're going to start closing all the hotels for the illegal immigrants. Yeah?
About time.
They've wrecked the hilltop, I think.
January, the Cumbria Park's getting.
Is it?
They're stopping doing them, yeah.
That's where the women and kids are supposed to be.
That's right.
7 of them got pregnant. You know the managed that?
What about our own women and kids that are struggling to find a place?
Yeah. They're second with them.
Well, enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah. Australia's the best idea. Give them a low ending.
Aye. You can't get in Australia with a packet of seeds.
No, they're very strict there. Fair enough.
Overtake this car in the trailer before the dual carriageway runs out. Got about a mile left and that's it. Tell you what happens a lot as well. You always just about get behind a tractor just as the dual carriageway is finishing.
Get a wagon, that's it.
Yeah.
Taking that bloody M6 sign off at the ramp, have they?
Well, they need to.
Should do.
Because they're wanting to get all their wagons out of Warwick Bridge.
Well, there'll be a serious accident there, and then they'll say, oh, we're going to stop bringing wagons this way.
Well, two wagons can't.
No.
Basically, when a wagon's coming to that bridge, it's got to wait until the cars are through before it goes through. Well, what does that tell you? It's not designed for it.
Just 2 wagons, well.
And it's a perfect good road. Carlisle Airport Road, it's straight.
Yes.
It's perfect for them.
What do they say? It was 2 minutes. If that.
Yeah.
Got between junction 44 and 43.
It needs D-trunks and it needs the sign saying M6 the other way.
Yes. Why don't you do it one night with no connection?
There you might be, I might just do that.
Well, they could chop the bloody sycamore tree down and do things like that.
Oh, you were aware when that happened, eh?
Terrible. And they haven't been back at court yet, the 60-odd-year-old and the boy. One of the due for court. Surely.
Well, the thing is, there's no cameras or anything there to see them. I mean,
No, but they've got forensic evidence.
Yeah, but they weren't charged with anything. They interviewed them, yes.
Yes. I thought, well, they arrested them, didn't they?
I've heard rumours that the fact that it was a farm owner or someone, he was using some of his site for camping for the people coming to tourists, and he was told by the national park to stop, and he spat the dummy out, so he says, right then, I'm going to chop your tree down.
Yeah.
You stopping me from doing this, I'm gonna get my own back, and I've heard that's what he's done it for.
Yeah, well, all sorts going on like that.
He was doing a bit on the side. The farmer thought, like, I'll put some tents up or something, and I'll make a bit of extra cash for myself. And the National Park Trust have said, no, you're not doing that.
Well, there's more to it than what we know.
People came to see that more than the Roman wall. Did you know that?
All over the world.
Yep.
Because it was in the film, wasn't it? Robin Hood.
But they came all over the world. And businesses and hotels and campsites made millions through the years through that.
Yeah.
this all to do with like the Gaza and Israel stuff?
Yeah, it's all to do with that. But the Americans are there anyway. Offshore. Wait to see what's going to develop.
Here we go, some prat doing 40 mile an hour in his car.
Yeah.
It's not a wagon. It's not anything put on a trailer. It's not a tractor. It's somebody just in a car.
It's got about eight cars behind it now.
Now that infuriates me, that.
Yeah.
I'm not bothered about speeding, but stick to the limit at least. You know? It's a silver car. It's that silver car in front of that white van.
How did they destroy it?
The van will lack a bit of acceleration to get past it.
Oh, here's the sun coming out for us.
There we
Oh
go.
yes, welcome home.
Brought him back.
A little bit cooler though. 38 miles an hour he's doing now, and this is a 60 mile an hour road, you know.
Yeah, it's bad when they don't. You know, to me, it's worse than speeding.
Well, it is.
Slow traffic down.
In a variety of ways, but what it cannot do is to support violations of international law. Mr. Jeffrey, thank you. You've told us very precisely what's in the letter, and it's important that you did that. Thank you. I want to come to another caller, Steve in Liverpool. Over to you. Take it to the top.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, that last caller there, whatever his name is, people like that make you sick, if you know what I mean? Because I look at how much money he's getting paid for the festival, by the way. And like you asked the question there before, you couldn't answer it. How on earth, yeah, Israel meant to stop Hamas? And I'll add to that, do you actually think Hamas would look at any letter or any sort of communication at all involving the British government or the Israeli government, the American government, asking for a ceasefire, you know? So really, he's getting paid a lot of money there to do that. I'm just thinking, all the points I was going to make this, okay? I know you've had a few people on this morning from Israel. There was a guy on half an hour ago. He made a statement. He said, when Hamas, an illegal terrorist, murderous group, okay, done what they done on the 7th of October, let's face it, they murdered, they butchered, women and kids, disabled people, that people hostages, okay? They knew full well to respond to the against Israel. By the way, Israel is a superpower in the business. By the way, I'm not sure it's something to do with Israel. It's just like, I am excited about it. But Israel is a superpower in the business. Supers don't need a book for that to come out. They fight Israel. Because Israel are bad.
Still there in front of the van.
Yep.
They choose Israel and they try their best.
Should be bloody pulled over.
They will have enough sense of it. Obviously, they use as mirrors.
Steve,
Yeah.
you took it to the top. You took it to the top. Thank you very much. Thanks all very much indeed. Cheers now.
It's like that dual carriageway on the A69 between Carlisle Golf Club and the roundabout. They don't realise they can do 70 on that stretch,
Yes.
and they're all do 40.
Yeah, well, there's drivers and drivers.
Dangerous dogs
Yeah.
does banning breeds work. 4 breeds of dog banned under the Dangerous Dogs Act, which is a hugely contentious piece of legislation. We've got Pit Bull Terriers, Japanese Tosa, the Doggo Argentino, the Fuller Brasileiro. The BBC's found that almost 3,500 banned dogs live at home with their owners, in England, Scotland and Wales. Is that you? Are you one of those people touched by that? There's an exemption scheme which allows for some banned dogs deemed to be safe by the courts to stay with their owners under strict rules wherever Muslim public, neutering, microchipping, taking out insurance, and XL bullies. We've been there before. Always gets an interesting
you're okay
response.
for January,
XL bullies expected to be
Yeah, just keep reminding us on.
It's a Monday, yeah.
involving them. This requires a lot of visits.
Just picking you up.
No, just taking us to Premier Inn.
Yeah, picking you up in Carlisle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Intimidated by an XL bully,
I'm taking you to the Premier
you
Inn.
might
Yeah.
well have a problem with a complete
time's that at?
And then we fly at 8:45 in the morning.
Alright. So is that on the evening you want picked up, or
Sorry?
what time you want them picked up?
Have to deal with. How many could be seized? What about resources?
Okay.
How can you
Is it after 3
define a
o'clock?
characteristic of a
You can check our suitcase in the night before, you see.
And the fundamental
Get
issue
rid of
when we
it.
talk about
Any
this
time
is
between-
make a jot of difference to
Just whatever suits you that day.
Okay.
carry
We're
on
working
with the
here.
use of the law. The very
Judge,
beginning to do
just
something about this.
communicate.
Yeah.
People
No, of course we have.
think about this. Dangerous dogs. Does banning breeds work? Get in
If we've got a
touch.
time limit on it.
No.
And here's the news from Dan Worsley.
Israel's army says it conducted another ground incursion into Gaza overnight to target Hamas fighters. The Israel Defense Forces said the head of Hamas's intelligence is among those killed.
Yeah, absolutely.
The relief agency has called for a ceasefire to allow meaningful and uninterrupted aid into Gaza. UNRWA's Commissioner General Philippe Lazarani described the current few trucks a day of aid as a distraction. US State Department has said it doesn't support a ceasefire.
This is a nice stretch for the colours, isn't it?
The BBC today
Oh, yeah. It's a nice time of year in that sense.
Refit and continue launching terrorist operations against Israel. And government data, as we've been hearing, at least
I
two
believe
BBC
it's
has
lovely in
revealed
Canada
almost
singing all the
3,500
Oh, the
fall.
is it the maples and stuff?
Most of pitbull types exemption schemes allow some band dogs to stay with their owners in extreme conditions.
BBC Radio 5 Live.
Clocks go back Saturday.
Confuse the car.
Dangerous dogs.
Aye.
Very controversial. Prohibits certain types of dogs and a dog of any type to be dangerously out of control in a public place or private place where it's not allowed to be, and it also provides for such dogs.
What an absolute prat that driver is like.
But the act does not brand breeds, but types.
Whoever it is, your ears burning.
Oh, yeah.
As it were. That means dogs that fit the ban bill are considered dangerous until they're assessed by a dog legislation officer to decide whether it belongs to one of the banned types. I'd love to hear from a dog legislation officer. Then let's tap into the dog legislation officer community on this one. What a task. And the act is what's known as breed-specific legislation.
But like pulling in front of him after I've overtook him and slowing down to 20 mile an hour and saying, right, see how you like it.
Responsible dog owners train their dogs to be aggressive. Jackie, it's Helen's. Good morning, Jackie.
Morning, is he okay?
Yeah, fine, thank you. And Josh in Northampton. Hi there, Josh. You're alright? You're there? Can you hear
Not
me?
too bad. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Tell us about your XL bullies.
No, I've got two XL bullies. I've got one called Kobe, who's about to turn 5, and I've got another one called Kyla, who's 3 years old.
Why did you get XL bullies? Some people might ask.
So, in 2018, I suffered a brain injury from a motorbike accident, and I had a few friends who already had the breed, and I saw from their temperament they were all quite good therapy dogs. These dogs are, known for being quite needy, if it were. So they like to be, have attention, have cuddles on the sofa, and it was just a good reason for me to kind of have the dogs.
That was horrible in Newcastle, wasn't it?
Take them out for a walk, etc.
Blimey, Josh, you got a sturdy sofa.
Yeah, I know they're not actually that bad. They're I know
Nobody
they look
tries to get
things,
past.
but they're
Trouble is, you get somebody that's overtaken slow, so you can only get maybe one car past.
You and what are they called? Did you say?
I've got Kobe and Kyla.
Kobe and Kyla and Josh up on the sofa of a Friday night. Yeah.
They're no, they're the same size as an Alsatian or a
Yeah. And what reaction do you get when you say come out?
I mean, I have had quite a positive reaction where I was, because we've got like a Facebook community group where I posted pictures of the two dogs and just said that, the dogs
want banned from bloody driving, that's what they want.
Still go out about the day.
Yes.
Not have to worry about any reactions. So I've been quite lucky, but I know of some friends of mine who have had quite a negative response. You know, previous to the ban, perfectly fine. But once it was kind of out in the public and in the press, a lot of the public have turned on fully owned.
Nice and clear to the left, isn't it?
It is, very.
Yeah, I've heard about that from listeners.
No more coming back.
Text and calls. Tell me a little bit more about their
It's a bad
temperament.
one,
They're needy, they're affectionate. Kobe and Kyla.
Well, yeah, I mean, I made an example when I done a previous interview for BBC, and it was, you know, if you was to not give a, you know, if you was to bring a child into the world, etc., and you wasn't to give the child, you know, any boundaries, or you don't set rules in place, you could end up with a naughty child. And it's exactly the same way with the dog. If you was to bring a dog into the world and you only treat them and you train
Which
them
one is it? The one in front of this
correct
car in front?
direction, then you're not going to end up with an aggressive dog. The people
Well,
who
everybody's
say
slowing
that
down because the speed camera's at the bottom of this hill.
Got burned up one day, this didn't it?
I think so, yeah.
My dog's being aggressive.
Some young lads got done for it. Set it on fire.
So many people say that. Are they protective?
They're not. You can train them to be protected. I mean, in let's say for instance, if I was at home, someone burst through my front door, the birds are going to up or around the garden, both my dogs will end up submitting. And you know, it's just fact like that. Close stadium door.
Absolutely no idea.
Woman.
Is able to kind of crouch down to give the dog some stroke, and if she gets the kick, it's
I'm too busy looking at the
you
trees.
know, just from experience that it's not in the blood.
Yeah. Jackie, what do you think? Because your dog was attacked by an XL bully, I would hazard an irresponsible owner. Surely that's the problem, Jackie, isn't it?
It's very challenging, Dickie. I think, you know, in the sense that I do completely empathise with Josh in terms of what he's saying about his particular dog and how he grows up with dogs and everything else. I think what the unfortunate situation is, yes, I was involved in that incident, involved multiple dogs and owners, and was sustained over a 20-minute period. That dog, obviously wasn't didn't have a lead, didn't have a collar on, and obviously the owner wasn't in control of it, and potentially not knowing anything about the owner previously, potentially didn't bring that dog up the way it should be. What I would say in response is that that I can't do that, but I do think has come a pinch point.
Yeah, but it's the people who are getting them, isn't it? Who do not have a flipping clue about dogs, and they're kept on, you know, flat balconies and in flats that never get out.
Glorious weather, innit? Look at this.
And of course that slow car's cleared the road in front for him.
Yeah. So you don't need Tenerife, man.
Yeah, it's only about 17 degrees warmer.
Yeah, no.
See, they found that body of some fella that jumped.
White Bridge.
Yeah, they did.
There's all sorts of things. What's all the traffic doing at White Bridge?
There was all the mountain rescue vehicles and that there the other day.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've said he's jumped or he's slipped, I don't know.
You never know.
Nothing's been confirmed. Was he drunk was he off his face? We just don't know.
that in the papers now, can they? Committed suicide.
No, they can't. Haven't seen any trains this morning.
Probably isn't it?
Aye.
These people don't give a damn. They don't give a damn, these people. That's the problem. So it's like, if the Alsatian, if the German Shepherd was their thing, there would be loads of German Shepherd attacks, because loads of German Shepherds would not have been trained properly and would be kept in deleterious circumstances, and we'd be having a phone in now about banning German Shepherds.
Yeah.
It's about the people, isn't it? I want to ask this question of everybody. Dangerous dogs, does banning breeds work? What do you think? 08085 909 693. Give us a call, 85058, and send us a text. I'll come to some of those. Does banning breeds work? What do you think? What's going to happen, Josh, with your two, Kirby and Kyla? You can do.
I mean, the ban hasn't been specifically kind of broken down yet. I mean, obviously, I can tell you now from Instagram and Facebook statistics that there are well over 100,000 types of bully out in the UK at the minute. So to kind of put a blank ban on them would be very hard to read. I think the kind of things that I'm having to do at the minute is I've got I'm training at the minute with a professional dog behaviourist. I'm having to wait a couple of weeks because one of my Kyla's just come off her heat cycle, so she's now going to have to go off and get muted. The same as Kobe. I'm basically trying to preempt what's going to come in place at the end of the year to try and basically get
We've got a million bloody bollards. What's supposed to be doing?
No idea.
With the ban coming in place.
Right the way along, weren't they?
Because obviously these dogs are family, they aren't pets. You have to understand that you do end up falling in love with these and they do become a part of that. And I think that's what
Over there
fail to realise.
on Wednesday as well.
People see them as animals.
Amuses me. I put them out and I do it.
Pets. And like you said about the Alsatian, you know, look at the police use.
Grass verge works apparently.
Use to attack criminals, to take criminals.
Well, where are they then?
It's the training that you're putting through these animals. You can make any animal aggressive and to kind of target the XL.
I was driving over here to Holtwhistle on Wednesday, and because you're quite high up here, I could hardly see because you were in the clouds. The clouds were that low down. And when you got the bottom of Greenhead Bank, you were in the clear. It was like this again. It was so strange.
UK, thanks for that, Doug. Debbie,
Like 7
Locken
years,
as well, dog behaviourist.
9
Jackie,
years,
stay there.
John,
Josh,
stay
stay there. Doug, what do you think of this ban coming up? Will it work?
It's nice out there. Well, if you look over Spade Adam there now, it looks as if it's under cloud, doesn't it?
Two grown men were killed by dogs.
The trees were only about 3 foot high now. We were there. 30 odd foot high now.
Unheard of.
Shooting up.
Behavior for dogs is unheard of. Breed bans around the world specifically target the American Pit Bull Terrier
busy place,
and
though.
their variants.
Oh, absolutely.
These dogs were selectively bred.
But the biggest sacrilege to me at the minute is Carlisle Airport.
Where's-
Brand new airport doing nothing.
An XL bully to a German Shepherd.
Imagine how good it would be for the economy and the area if you could get international flights there.
What's stopping them?
Shake and tear.
I mean, they've got a runway there that's designed for the
military aircraft.
yeah, well, you know the jet that you get on.
Yeah,
Then they could land at Carlisle because the runway is big enough.
that's small compared to what can. You know the big transporters
Yeah.
the military use.
It's
built for them.
In just that moment, that's a life-changing injury. That person
Already waiting.
Potential gold mine that'll create lots and lots of jobs as well.
Yeah,
There's permanent.
that'll be incredible.
So there is something specifically in the
comes
brief.
off.
That's what you say. It is absolutely.
There's
Like it.
I would think everything that is let it goes a racket round, wouldn't it?
Feeding the dog.
And imagine how easy it would be for you lot to like say go to Carlisle to fly to Spain
Yes.
or Tenerife.
High tolerance of addiction. And so you see stories of
No, they're not.
Interesting.
Put under its collar to a makeshift return engine. It's kind of release the ocean.
I bet Josh isn't doing that
Everything's
to
there. Everything's in place.
It is, and it's a lovely terminal building as well.
Yeah, brand new.
Yeah, I mean,
You can eat your dinner off the floor.
just because
Yeah,
you're
what else?
talking about them not releasing when they might, but when I'm
And there's
saying
storage there as well.
Yeah.
Stobats. Massive bloody hang of the built.
And you want to see the size of the car park outside and all.
Yeah. Well, to me, they should be pushing the likes of Jet 2 and people like that.
Of course they should.
Realistically, no, it's the owners who are training the dogs to be British. I too, the Josh, and any British train.
We couldn't believe how many Jet 2 aircraft are flying into Tenerife.
These dogs, not realizing that they come from
Jet 2 would Ryanair.
They have those great drives. And they
Every
have
other
those
plane
things
was one of those.
which
Was it?
need to be managed or need to be well trained. A lot of people are
Was your flight smooth on the way back?
Yeah.
Almost, yeah.
These tragic situations arise.
And John's strategy in booking our seats, we always have a spare one
If those
beside us.
dogs were German Shepherds,
Do you sit in the same seat all the time?
No, we sit near the front.
And we
and if
have
that is the case,
Leg room.
strong argument to
Well,
ban
the aisle in the middle.
restrict these dogs.
and the window ones left.
Fatalities.
Well, nobody wants the window seats.
Do they not?
No.
Wonder why that is.
Yes, again,
Well,
that has been
it means it has to be a person on their own.
not just the XL building.
Person on their own, and going to say, excuse me, every time I want a coffee. Get out.
When you have it, a lot of times, children, it's tragically infant. That's a situation where any dog can be dangerous. And I think anyone with children needs to take extra precaution when they bring any type of dog into their house. But again,
Someone said a joke once about if somebody's annoying you and they're falling asleep on you when you sit next to them on a plane,
even more so than
put your oxygen mask on from above and put your life jacket on and then wake them up.
relatively small dogs, they're lean and athletic. These dogs have been selectively bred to be even bigger. Some of them have been crossbred.
Jet
with
2
other
aircraft
dogs.
are good,
Actually
mind even.
verified.
Even if you're in the middle seat,
Because
you've
the
still got plenty of
different
room.
pedigrees have been forged. And there
You
is
know,
a suggestion that these
I think
dogs
the
have been
TUI ones
crossed
are the
with
worst.
working
TUI,
class
yeah.
mastiffs. So you're combining
That's,
American pit bull terriers with mastiffs,
You've got
guard dogs,
plenty of leg room.
with essentially blood sport dogs. And so,
Yeah, I mean, let's obviously, I completely understand what you're saying, but do you not think we should agree to disagree here with in terms of to be able to police the issue? Then it starts with the breeders, doesn't it? And I made an example.
Yeah, we're making good time. I think you'll get back into Carlisle before 11 o'clock.
If you want to go fishing, you have to have a fishing license, right? Any person who wants to put a rod in the water, you have to be licensed. Where a bailiff will come and
No,
police
in
it.
5 minutes,
They will
I
check
allow
your
you.
license, see if you're able to take
An hour and 5.
An hour and 5. We've got 15 minutes.
We've got 15 minutes left.
to be a dog breeder. So you can just have
Well,
any.
you would have done it if it hadn't been for that little white
Oh,
car.
yes,
Yeah, we're stuck behind some more some wagons now up here.
And then sell them to anybody who they like. You know, nice price, and it's absolutely.
You can't blame the weather, can you?
No.
I think a lot of the problems that we have now.
Or the wind, because there's not a breath on it. There's not one leaf moving.
Dogs weren't treated as pets; they were treated as cryptocurrency. If we're buying them, crossing them with anything, we've seen XL Bully, Kenny Corso, Borbal, Great Dane, name breed, and you have a cross. And they were crossing these dogs with pit bulls in the UK. I think the breeding in this country is a disgrace. It's out of control. It has to be regulated. And I think you just have to look at other animals. Look what they've done with French bulldogs. Average lifespan of a French bulldog now is 4.5 years. And that's because of backyard breeding. That's because of breeding for color. That's because of breeding for things
Here come the French Bulldog community. Okay, listen, I'm going to bring Debbie in as well, dog behaviourist. You've heard what you've heard. You've heard there from Doug. It's specific to the breed. It's the way that the breed bites. You've heard from Josh. Josh saying, cuddly toy, drop. It's dropped.
If your date was next Monday and you were available today, you'd still come in and do the show and take your fee.
I don't think it would be my decision.
Well, I've just told you, you're free to work. So it's the same in football, he's free to play.
Yeah, but it might not be the
What time do you normally finish
Correct,
at night then?
that's the difference.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Actually did very well.
Yeah.
Everything was dated again.
6 o'clock.
And that's the issue, isn't it? The manager now has to get used to not having him as a player. And I don't think there's any fault of Newcastle's there
What time's it getting dark here at the minute?
They may even be looking to
About 5:30, starting to sort of turn, yeah. But it's earlier if it's really thick cloud cover.
Yeah.
If he's an addict,
See,
yeah, but it's clearly an addict.
I've got to know what's
The
going
signs
on.
must have been there.
7 hours tomorrow.
From AC Milan.
Yeah, well, if it's not
But there can be a 45-minute difference in more daylight if you get clear blue sky.
Yeah,
where
yeah,
Newcastle
yeah.
maybe should have had to do due diligence regards to the player and all that. This is going to now come into future contracts. These betting issues, I guarantee, future transfer contracts will now have clauses in there. If in the event it comes out that there was gambling going on or betting going on that leads to a ban, we're going to be asking for discounts and transfer fees, money back. I bet you it wasn't in the contract, but it will be for
Well, the fact he is a gambling addict was revealed by his agent. Milan quietly staked the bank rent, and Newcastle bought the player. And at the time, Dara, I remember it well. There were eyebrows raised. How did they manage to get one of the top players out of Italian football, Newcastle United? But they did. So I would have thought behind the scenes there was some serious conversation between Newcastle and Milan.
Do you think Milan
Would be hard to think that they didn't. It'd be hard to think they didn't. Well,
If you've got a known addict in the building, do you not know? Does it just raise its head one particular day?
You get in a dressing room. I mean, you play with people in that position. Did every manager know every person's personal issues or demons? I don't know.
well, let me put it this way: if you'd known about Ivan Toney's,
They've said Verge works for the last 7 miles. I've not seen one person.
sold him to Brentford.
I haven't. Not one person working on any of them.
Seriously?
Yeah, of course, because you look
Is that not
I was in Germany a few times and they work 24 hours a day to get it fixed.
and as far as I know,
Yeah, yeah.
charges not
Nearly everything's under the pavement. Don't touch the roads. All the services are under the pavement.
You're asking me if Brentford are buying a player, and I know
Well, they've had temporary traffic lights on London Road
he's not gambling.
for the last 2 weeks,
My job to tell Brentford about the player's character.
digging a hole in the pavement.
Big holes in the leaves.
And you think to yourself, what are you doing for 2 weeks?
Jeez, you're joking.
I've worked for about 3 days.
We've had players.
Unbelievable.
We've given. If I'd known he had an issue, I would have stood him down and helped him with an issue. I would have sat with his dad, his family, and him and had an intervention. If I knew it was that serious and he had an issue, we found out a player of ours, who was a very good player, came over from Ireland, had a problem with, the online roulette thing and the blackjack stuff. He was doing it for like 16, 18 hours a day, online gambling, and it completely wrecked his head because he was homesick, his wife didn't move across with him, his daughter didn't come across, and he had issues, and we helped him. We gave him time off, we tried to get him help with a counsellor, we sent him home every 4 days so he could see his family, his kid. It ruined his career in England. He's now gone back to Ireland and rebuilt his career and done really well, and we're delighted about that, but there's only so much I can do. We'll contact the Players Association, we'll bring them in. We've done it with players before, but there's nothing, what else can I do?
Well, that's commendable for help doing that.
I didn't know that either.
But according to Brentford, you wouldn't have told Brentford.
Yeah, that's what it needs.
They not asked. Listen, it's
M6
Tony might
South and M6 North, both pointing that way.
Both pointing that way.
You know anything about that, Dara? Then you would have coughed up.
Right, no, if they ask us the question, of course we would tell
For
them.
wagons, anyway.
But at the end of the
Yeah,
day,
there should be
you sell a
restriction
player
on
to a
them. It's
club.
as simple as that.
It's up to the club to do its due diligence on a player's character, issues, all field stuff.
they'll
This
be going
stuff's
up for
usually
sat
around
nav.
houses. You know that, Mark.
All these fucking drivers.
Yeah, they will.
Actually covers that area.
No.
And
But there will be.
The sat nav will just go this
Some
way.
contracts are different.
So if they'd have come back to you then,
Makes you laugh when you see some of them ending up in a river and you think like, well, does the water not give it away not to drive in it?
some sort of deal, would you say, no, sorry, you signed the contract?
Yes.
No, I'd say the player passed the medical. When you do a sale or you sell a player, you take a player, good or bad, if they've got issues off the field, it's up to you to do your due diligence. When you scout a player, my scouts go,
Yeah, this is a clearer room.
It is it's straightforward. There's no traffic lights. You don't have to stop in villages and stuff.
See, this is that big to try and do as much as you can.
So if you'd have bought a player this summer and it suddenly came out it was a huge issue, you didn't know about it,
When you think how long it takes to drive from junction 44 to 43,
Just minutes. That's all it is.
that's all you'd say, 2 or 3 minutes.
Yes, I would own the fact that we did the deal. I wouldn't go back to the previous club. I might moan, I might ring their chief executive.
No, there'll be a serious accident and they'll say, oh, I think we can close the road to big wagons of a certain size.
Players who
Well, the wagons are getting bigger
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
shows up, it's on your club to do expect the 3 grand in the medical.
Like the wagon drivers
Going
give.
this way around, to do that.
I know.
It's probably quicker than going through all the
We'll have to slow down, won't it?
all the slow down for all the villages and the traffic lights.
I've had wagon drivers giving me funny looks when I've gone right over the bridge and I've not let them through, and I'm thinking like, we're going on the other road then. It's a two-way road, should be designed, should be able to cope with two-way traffic.
Just to take it to the next stage, would you then, if you had this plan,
And I say that for all the roads in Carlisle, like Greystone Road and this and that and the other, you can't drive up there one way. It's
I mean, see, what you've got to remember is all the roads were built before cars.
yeah, there will have been.
We're on a tight budget. We have financial controls, and we don't go strike.
Monica Road Bridge, they're on about now.
Yeah.
Oh, back to Victorian times.
Yeah.
So we're all for